My way too early. Post-spring, number one team in the country as the Penn State Nittany Lions. They're following the blueprint of the teams that have just won the national championship. This is why I am putting them in this spot. You look at what Michigan did in 2023. You look at what Ohio State did in 2024. They stayed and they won a championship. Both of those teams had veterans at quarterback. They had veterans on both sides of the ball. They were excellent at the line of scrimmage. They had chips on their shoulders from the way that they were bounced in the postseason in years prior. All of that is true about Penn State. They're returning their quarterback, both running backs, Singleton and Allen, 4 players on the offensive line. They brought in Jim Knowles as their defensive coordinator to pair with Andy Kotelnicki as their offensive coordinator. He's in year 2. I look at this, and my only question was at wide receiver for James Franklin. We saw how bad it was at wide receiver last year, okay? In the loss to Notre Dame, they got 0 catches from their wide receivers. 0 catches. That's incredible. So they brought in 3 wide receivers. Kyron Hudson, redshirt senior from USC. Trevor Pena from Syracuse. Love him. All ACC slot receiver. You've got Devontae Ross, Sunbelt receiver, all Sunbelt receiver from Troy. Reinforcements. I think they're going to be better at wide receiver. Now, the question becomes, can they replace Tyler Warren? That'll remain to be seen. They will have to get that production from outside. What we haven't seen from Penn State is them rise up and win the game that I would call a matchup game. When they're looking across and the talent is equated and they may even be a bit of an underdog, can they win that game? Because up until this point, they haven't. Can they? Yes. I absolutely believe that they can. You know, they beat SMU, they beat Boise State, but then they lose to Notre Dame. We see this in the Big Ten schedule where they haven't been able to beat, the Michigans of the world and the Ohio States. They were close. They were close. They had 1st and goal inside the 5 to tie the game in the 4th quarter against Ohio State, but they didn't. So that's the next step. I believe they will take the next step.